Hello, my name is Tolu of Samu Atilia. So we are making this dress for 11 months old. Please make sure to subscribe to this channel. So I'm starting with the lower part of the dress and I am making that 11.5 inch. So the lower part is 11 inches, but because of seam allowance, we're going to add ½ inch. And after making the mark on different parts, I connected it with a long ruler and I'm going to cut it through. If you're not sure on how to get your baby's measurement or the measurement to work with, I have a video that I uploaded to guide you on how to take a perfect measurement. So after cutting the fabric, I removed the pins and I spread it out. I folded it into two like this and I pinned it. I kept that aside and now we are starting with the upper part of the dress. So for the upper part of the dress, my half length is 8.5 and then I'm adding ½ inch seam allowance, which will make it 9. And after marking that, I connected the lines with a ruler. And before we continue, if you've watched to this point and you like my videos, please like, share and subscribe. Now for the waist measurement, our waist measurement is 9 inches. I divided that by 2, which is 4.5, and I added 1 inch seam allowance, making it 5.5. I also did that for the chest part because the waist measurement and chest parts are of the same measurement. So I connected that together with a ruler and a chalk, and I also marked the actual measurement. We'll be able to differentiate between the actual measurement and the seam allowance. Now, to the neck and shoulder part. For the shoulder is 8 inches divided by 2, that's 4 inches, which I marked. The neck depth is 2.5 by 2 inches. So after marking it, I connected it with the chalk, and for the shoulder slants, I came down by 1 inch, which I also connected to the neckline. Now for the armhole, all you have to do is to divide the half length by 2 minus 1. So my half length is 8.5 inches divided by 2, that's about 4.25, minus 1 is 3.25, so approximately 3.5. And you're going to start this measurement from the shoulder slant. So after you've done all that and you've connected your armhole, shoulder slant and neckline, all you have to do is to cut your fabric and also cut a lining for it. So all I did was to place the front pattern on the back fabric, and you would notice that the back fabric is about 1 inch longer or wider than the front pattern. That is the zip allowance, which I'm trimming presently. So the difference between the front and the back is just the fact that it's going to be 1 inch wider. Now make sure that you notch this 1 inch where it's starting from, and you can see that I'm connecting the notched parts together, making sure both notched parts are together because we are still going to trim it. Don't forget that we are making an asymmetric outfit, so everything has to be in order before you trim it off. So after placing the notched parts together and placing the front pattern on the back pattern, all you have to do is to mark the part you want to trim and cut it off. Now, if you've watched to this point, please like, share, subscribe, and let us know the type of videos you'd like to see on this channel. I would make it and upload it. Now, what I was doing there was making the sleeve of the dress. I was just being creative with it, and I plaited the sleeve of the dress. And then don't forget I told you that you'd cut a lining for it. So all I did was basically to join the neck part of the lining to the fabric, the shoulder to the shoulder, and then I'm turning it. Now after turning, make sure you iron because it's going to be really bulky. Make sure you iron to make it really flat. And we are done with the upper part for now. So now for the lower part, yes, this is me just showing you what it looks like after being ironed. It looks really neat. The inside and the outside sewing, very neat. So For the lower part, I ironed it, and after ironing, I basically just joined the middle part of the lower part to the middle part of the upper parts. I pleated it and pinned it. So once you've pleated and pinned, it's easy for you to join on the sewing machine. You don't have to be struggling to be pinning on the sewing machine. Basically, I sewed the upper part and the lower part together. I removed the pin. I made sure there was no pin at all on the dress. Don't forget, you are making an outfit for a baby, so you just want to be very careful, extra careful. And after I made sure there was no pin on it, I proceeded to the weaving machine to weave fabric together so it doesn't fray off. And the last but not the least, I did buttonhole instead of zip, and the reason is that I have really long zip and I don't want to just waste it, so I just did buttonhole. Because we don't want the dress to be plain, I decided to make this very nice rose with fabric. So basically what I did was to measure 8 inches, cut it, divide the fabric by 2. I sewed it and then ironed it, as you can see. And then I cut a purple fabric and I basically just sewed it in circle. This is my baby doing quality control check for a dress. So basically I just sewed it in circle to be to achieve the rose. And if you've watched to this point, please like, share and subscribe. Let us know in the comment section the type of videos you'd like to see. And after I finished sewing the rose, I just tried to spread the fabric out to give it that rose shape, and I trimmed off the excess fabric underneath just to make it neat. So here I already put where I want the rose to be, and I was attaching it with the needle and thread, and it looked really nice. Let me know if you will be replicating this. Let me know if you learned something new. And here's the dress on the model. Thanks for watching. Bye.